and let's talk about what's going on in the Republican primary.
Yeah.
So Ron DeSantis is shit in the bed. It's really bad right now. Ron DeSantis has fallen to a distant second. I've seen some polls that have him tied with Vivek Ramaswamy for second. I'm not even kidding. Nationally, we're talking Ron DeSantis 12, Vivek Ramaswamy 12%.
Really?
That poll wasn't that great, but the fact that that's even possible to happen.
Well, that's like seeing Ramaswamy at 12 is kind of insane to me.
I think it's insane.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he has so much media coverage right now.
Yeah.
He's just going on the airs every day.
He's going everywhere. Yeah.
But I want to focus in on the early states of Iowa. Early on in this podcast journey that we went on, I said, watch out for Tim Scott. Tim Scott is the danger to the Democratic Party. If Tim Scott gets the Republican nomination, he will beat Joe Biden. I firmly believe that. Tim Scott will defeat Joe Biden in 2024 if he is the nominee.
Do you think he's the only one who would?
Yes.
On this list?
I think Nikki Haley has an okay shot of beating Joe Biden.
Okay.
But I think Tim Scott runs away with it.
Okay.
I think Tim Scott literally runs away with it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So let's go into the Iowa polls. Here we go. You ready? Iowa, Donald Trump, 46%. Ron DeSantis, 16%. And then we got Tim Scott at 11%. Ramaswamy, 6%. Haley, 5%. Pence, 4%. Burgum, 3%. Burgum's the governor of North Dakota. So what do we gather from this? What do you gather from this information right now? I got two things from that.
I guess my only thing is Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Scott. What is Scott doing all the way up there? What is Scott doing at 11% in Iowa? What's happening? Why is he almost he's basically in the margin of error with DeSantis in this poll. Trump is running away with it, obviously. But is Tim Scott now pushing himself as the Trump alternative? I think this is Tim Scott's moment. He has a $40 million war chest, and he's about to unleash a buttload of ads in Iowa. He already has a pretty okay ground game, but Donald Trump has an amazing ground game in Iowa. I was reading reports that Donald Trump already has 100,000 cards of people who are willing to go out and caucus for him on election night. Already has 100,000 right now, as of right now.
Wow.
That's going to be impossible to beat.
Yeah.
But I think Tim Scott can go here and he can say, I am your best shot of beating Donald Trump, everybody. Stop wasting your money on DeSantis. I think I'm the guy. And we see this at a time when DeSantis is plummeting nationally.
Yeah.
He's plummeting in Iowa. He's plummeting in New Hampshire. And he's also plummeting in South Carolina. Donald Trump, 48%. Nikki Haley, 14%. She was the old governor. That's why she's up there. Ron DeSantis, 13%. Tim Scott, 10%. Tim Scott, Ron DeSantis in the margin of error. I don't think I've been saying Ron DeSantis doesn't have the stuff for a while now.
Yeah.
I think everyone else now knows that Ron DeSantis just doesn't have the stuff.
You think so?
I think everybody else now knows that Ron DeSantis does not have it.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
I think Tim
including
Scott's
the
guy.
Republican electorate.
I think the Republican electorate is now knowing that Ron DeSantis is not the guy.
Okay.
And if they're smart, they'll know that Tim Scott is the guy to destroy Joe Biden.
I mean, maybe to me, saying that they know that DeSantis isn't the guy just means better news for Trump. Like, it means almost nothing for Scott because it means that every non-Trump vote is being split more, right?
Yes.
It's not being consolidated. Like,
Yes.
When I see this, I mean, we kind of just breeze through it, but in every state, Trump is up 30 points at least.
Yeah, it's not even a question. It's like Trump is obviously going to win these states.
Yeah, so even like sure, I think I agree with you that Scott would have a good chance against Biden. He's the only one who's actually really running in a different lane.
Well,
than
talk
Trump.
about this is exactly what you're saying. Tim Scott is the type of guy who can be the moderate on the top of a ticket.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. But too much of the Republican base doesn't want that. I honestly I'm less confident in Scott beating Biden because I think most of the Republican base would just be so disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that they wouldn't.
Well, that's the argument from right-wing populists. Right-wing populists will say you're not going to get the rural Wisconsinite who voted Democrat for Obama and then voted Trump in 2016. You're not going to get him with a Tim Scott. I don't know if I agree with that. I think you might still be able to get him, but I do understand that it's not as exciting to the base. And that was the Democrat argument. You're going to say, if you don't have Bernie up the top of the ticket, you're not going to get the big turnouts in Dane County, Wisconsin. You know, so I don't know. But I do know one thing. Scott's next opportunity is the Republican debate. Why? I don't think it's because debates matter that much, But I think it's because Trump has signaled that he doesn't want to participate in the first debate. Doesn't want to go.
Sure.
He's so high up in the polls, he's like, I don't want to go. Well, they asked Iowa voters, would it show strength or weakness if somebody skipped a debate? 27% of people said it showed strength, and 60% of people said it showed weakness. Guys, so this is the first time we're using a camera instead of our iPhone. And we're not even using like the good camera on the back of an iPhone. We've been using this front one.
Yeah.
So all you guys who are commenting, like, get a better camera. Like, dude, this was our camera. Like, this is what we've been doing. So we're using an actual camera this time. And
the problem is, for some reason, it caps at like 30 minutes of recording a video. All right, so even though I have a 128 gig SD card
and the battery is full.
The battery is full, it just cut off. So we're going to have a few intermittent breaks, but we're just going to bring you back into the conversation nice and easy.
Yeah, we're not going to do this every time. But I just wanted you to know that we're trying for you guys, and we're trying to get better quality on the camera, we promise. Okay, so I was talking about Scott's opportunity. And it's not because I think he's going to, and it's coming up with the debate. I don't think it's because he's going to do well in the debate or that because debates matter, but because Trump's not going to go. And they asked Iowa voters, would it show strength or weakness if someone doesn't show up to a debate? 27% of people said it showed strength. 59% said it showed weakness. And when asked about important qualities a leader should have, strength was number one. I think that this is an opportunity to show Trump's weakness.
Maybe. But I think Trump will go if he thinks there's any chance that it actually makes a difference.
Yeah.
He hasn't said that he won't go, to be clear.
Right. He hasn't said he won't.
I'm still thinking about it.
But that's, honestly, wait a second. I'm an idiot because I'm falling for Trump's game. Because I'm talking about whether or not he's going to go and making it all about him.
Yeah.
Wow, he's a marketing genius.
But it is all about him.
It is all about him. Yeah. I'm an idiot. I fell for his trap. That's his whole game, and I fell for it. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because even, honestly, yes on this poll, but couldn't Trump kind of spin it as a show of strength to not go?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need it. Yeah, let them go at each other.
Yeah, let them fight each other while I'm over here. While I'm over here at a Wendy's buying food for everybody, which he does very frequently, but sometimes doesn't pay, even though he says he would.
Okay.
Now, any other comments about the Republican primary? Because that's kind of it for me. I just think Tim Scott has a moment here. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it's slightly interesting. Honestly, the Republican primary generally just will never be that interesting because maybe it will get interesting.
Maybe.
But I'm doubtful that it will ever be anything more than like
Trump won.
Yeah.